Chylei Smith,
Yeah,
from Elkhart High School, yada yada, all that jazz.
cool.
So I guess we could start off the interview by asking just saying what your name is and everything, I
Oh,
guess.
what is my name? It's 10 o'clock. My name is Thomas Mackay, um, and I am a graduate of Elkhart High School.
What year did you graduate?
1985.
1985.
Yep. And by the way, welcome to my studio.
Yeah, it looks crazy. Well, like in a good way, in a good way. Looks
Yeah,
like there's a lot going on.
I teach online lessons. So, and this is my place where I perform. So, did I cut out there for a minute?
Oh no, you're good.
Okay. All right.
So you went to Elkhart High School at the time when you were here. Like, what activities did you really do?
Um, I was a band geek. I yeah, I was a lot in I yeah, pretty much music 24/7. Yep.
So, do you think band played a lot into what you do now for work?
It's pretty much the reason that I do what I do, you know. I've never I never stopped playing music and I've been lucky enough to be able to do it as a career, you know. So
So, what would you call like like your job title? What would you say that is?
um I'm a musician because
A music.
yeah, because I have to say that because I do so many different things. Because I'm a recording engineer sometimes. I produce CDs. I'm a jazz musician. I play in a rock band. You know, I played reggae music all over the world. So it's like, when that's a good question because when you have a business card, it's like, what do you put on the business card?
Mhm.
I just say musician.
Oh, just because you do such a wide variety of things.
Yeah, because it would take up a whole business card if I listed all the things that I could be hired. It's like, like if you got about an hour and a half, we could discuss it all. But it's like, I'm a musician. That's my title is a musician.
All right, and
You could put professional because I do get paid. So and there's that. And
all
you're
right. Sorry if I'm like it's lagging a little bit.
yeah,
So
right.
bear with me there. Um so overall like the things that you've done in school have definitely pushed you to where you are now. Did you go to college or anything like that to help you out or anything like that?
Yeah, and when I was in school, in high school, you have district honor band festivals and regional festivals and things like that, and that propels you go. Those are part of colleges. So we would go to Garden City, we would go to um, Dodge City for district, and I was hoping that I would, K-State marching band kind of stuff. And I was really hoping after high school that I would either go to KU, excuse me, KU, Dodge City, or somewhere. I thought I was going to go stay in Kansas, but my parents ended up moving to Wyoming my senior year. Uh, like like right after I graduated, they're like, "Oh, we're moving to Kemmer, Wyoming." I'm like, "Okay, what do I do?" And so instead of going to college in Kansas, my mom uh, uh, facilitated me getting into Casper College in Casper, Wyoming. And when I was in high school, one of the big things was like marching band and drum corps with Mr. Crin. Gerald Crin was our band director. and he really, we had a little tiny band, but it was just like two people, two people in the drum section, me and Joel Rodriguez. And so what I did in high school, I just continued that to college, you know, and then went to various different colleges and studied with people, from New York and all these kind of things over the years. And yeah, what I did, what was brought to me from my experience with Elkhart High School and Mr. Crin and Mrs. Snow, the all those things propelled me to what I'm doing. Because the high school and the people, the teachers allowed you to do what you needed, what you wanted to do. You know, in fact, I played so much music, I ditched out on so many classes and things like that. I barely graduated from high school scholastically.
All right, sorry, it's lagging a little bit, so I'm trying to make sure that I like hear everything that you say. So that's why I'm so quiet. I'm just like, okay,
Oh, no worries.
okay,
No, yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay.
The I'm used to the lag because with students I'll be like, play that, and they're like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
yeah. So,
So when you were in high school, what was like something, everyone was worried about, or like that your parents like were worried that you were doing? Like nowadays, a lot of parents they worry about the cell phones, fentanyl,
well,
just
back
a bunch
then
of things.
there were no cell phones. And that seems ancient, but when I say that, it's like back then. um, I don't know. I guess the two main things my parents were always concerned about was drinking and smoking, herb, you know, and I did both of them. So, you know, that's really
Oh, okay.
that's really because there was, all the weird drugs that are in things that are in social media and all that. They weren't there back then, So it was more just like, it's like, hey, it was basically they didn't want me to party. My parents were like, you should really stay, you know, scholastic and all that kind of stuff, and don't 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 party, you know. So I did.
Oh, okay. Were your parents, you've so I'm trying to put this to words. You explored music a lot. Were your parents like supportive of that, or were they kind of iffy about it?
Oh yeah, my mom, my dad. A little bit of history. My dad was the administrator of the hospital, and so we saw, the Cabreras and the Iways and everyone. And my mom was a piano teacher, so all my it was interesting because I would see so many people at school, and then I would come home from school, and they would be taking piano lessons from my mom. So I would start, I'd see all, like Yvonne Eway and Christina Eway and all them, and then they'd be home playing, you know,
Yeah.
and I'd go in my bedroom and listen to MTV.
So, you got to see your peers a lot, which honestly is a good thing. I feel like nowadays, like unless it's like at a school activity or anything like that, we don't really see each other outside of that.
Mhm.
Um, so what's your advice for like for like high school students today or graduating students? Like what would you say to them if you had the chance? Like what advice?
This is something that, um, you know, with everything that is, in the world today, which every second, every hour, things change, you know, to keep an open mind, you know, but also to be very um, focused in who you are and what you believe in, you know, but to be open to everything around you, not to like participate, you know, you don't have to like do everything, but to be aware of it, to be conscious of of the world around you and the things that are around you. Because one thing I've noticed in my line of work is when I have a musician come in, and uh, even teachers, that I've had, and they say, well, this is one way. There's only one way to do it. There's never one way. There's always 5 billion ways to do things. It's just finding that one that resonates to you. The other thing that I would say to that I tell my students a lot, and I tell, just because when you perform in public, you're close to the public, you know, and to try and be as positive as you possibly can, you know. It's easier to be negative and to look at the negative side of things, to look at, you know, I don't want to say good or bad, but, the things that people do wrong or things like that, rather than seeking the truth and seeking the positive, because the positive is not always easy. you know
Definitely not.
no. And you know I in my life I've had quite a few health problems, you know and even recently, but people say, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry about any of it, because they were meant to be at the time. They were just little hiccups. We solved it. I have a new path. We do this now, and it's so much better. It's not a disease. It's just a challenge, you know? And one thing, because I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes a couple of years ago. Probably had it when I was, you know, a little kid. But um, I remember, because you have like, you know, pumps and things like that, And the first week that I had this, my lady and I were go into the grocery store, and I got in the car, and I thought, oh man, I don't have my little CGM, my little monitor, and my mind said, nah, I don't want to go back and get it. And at that moment, time was significant, because I call it the I don't wanna disease. The I don't wanna was like, no, you have to go it up off your butt and go into the house and grab that thing, because this is life or death. And it was a defining moment for me, just in myself, because that I don't wanna was get up off your ass and do it now. So it's like when I say, oh, I don't want to do the dishes, well, just do them. It take 5 minutes. I want to do the laundry. I just do it. I don't want to practice my scales. Just do it, you know? And so that was a defining
Kind of
moment.
like what Nike says.
What?
Sorry, I was like, just like Nike says, just do it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so for young kids coming out and going to college, you know, not every kid, not, college is not right for everyone, you know. If you need to go out and you need to work, do it. If you need, whatever your path is, whatever your passion is, if you have everyone has something, a passion, everyone has a talent, you know. Doesn't have to be a piano, it could be hammering nails. That could be a talent. But you do it the best that you do it the best that you can. You know, expectations, yeah, there are expectations, but I don't the older I get, I don't put expectations on anyone because that's putting me on them. I keep an open mind and say, okay, what do you have to offer? You know, what are you gonna what things are you gonna bring to me? How
Yeah,
can
of course. We do only have 1 minute left. I want to ask a question that most of my classmates want to know. So, who like not only like so who in Elkhart like influenced you the most while you were here, but like how did you even get from here, in the middle of Elkhart
to
all the
Hawaii?
way to Honolulu? Yeah, to Hawaii.
The last question was what brought me to Honolulu.
Yes.
So I can, in a nutshell, warm weather and music. When I've lived all over the Midwest. I've moved all over, and I was in and really music has been the defining moment for me where I've moved. Mainly because like well, I went to college and I didn't drop out, but I left college to join a rock and roll band and moved to Denver. And that didn't go anywhere after about 6 months. And then my parents moved from Wyoming to North Dakota. And so I moved to North Dakota and went back to school. I went back to college and studied jazz and percussion and that for about 7 years. And uh, was wanting something. I wanted to, I wasn't getting what I wanted as far as, where I wanted to be musically. And I knew that I had to go to a bigger city, like Chicago. So I moved to the Chicago area. And then, the gigs kind of dried up, performances kind of dried up. And so I ended up moving to Oregon, kind of also because it was cold. And I was like, I'm tired of shoveling snow. I'm tired of scraping that. And so I was in Oregon for probably about 15, 20 years, I think. And my my lady asked me, I had just done my first CD. Um, I'd been touring as a keyboard player and as a percussionist from like I would say 1999 until present, until like 2000. I left the road in 2011 because my health was going bad. And so there was about a 9-year period that I couldn't play music. I mean, I played, but I had to switch over to keyboards because I couldn't hold the sticks anymore. So I turned myself into a reggae keyboard player and ended up playing with a lady who grew up with Bob Marley and the Wailers and all that. So I was like, I've been really blessed to like play with people that have been in the music, like are iconic. And so I did the CD, and I asked my lady, I said, well, where should I play? She goes, someplace warm. So I said, oh, well, I've never been to Hawaii, you know. And so we did a tour in 2013. Loved it. Loved the kids, the students that I had met doing workshops. And I said, yeah. And so we moved over here in 2015. We've been in here ever since. So,
I gotta ask because I did look you up before the interview, along with my peers, just to see, just to see what you looked like, just in case if I didn't get to see your face,
oh yeah,
that way I could put like a name to a face, right?
yep.
What decided, like, what helped you decide to get dreads?
Um, my when I started playing reggae music, and I've adopted the Rastafarian way of uh, philosophy and teachings. And so that was probably 1994. I adopted that just in myself and finding myself through that. And I've had, dreads ever since. These are 20 years old, it's like
You have very long hair. Oh my gosh.
yeah, they were down to the floor, but they were like getting caught in the car and the toilet and all that. So, we cut a little bit off. But, you know, everything that happened in high school um, is a precursor to who you are now, you know. And when you go to college, you're in your 20s and your 30s, you really don't really, you're still trying to figure stuff out, you know. And even when you get older, it's like some of the jazz musicians that I've known that are iconic guys. They're 80 years old and they're like, I'm still trying to figure this out. So it's like it's just a constant, you're always studying, you're always learning. And that's the way I approach life. You're always open to things, you're always learning, you're always listening. The biggest thing you can do is the biggest detriment is to stop listening and to
So,
stop hearing people.
so looking back, is there anything that you would do differently from like any point in time?
Doing differently. Um, Probably I would have to say, let me get that light off. Oh, there we go. Probably differently, I would probably say um, be more aware of my health, you know, because the conditions like I have now, oh my gosh, um, I probably had when I was in high school, you know, and they were just undetected, like the type 1, because there's, a lot of kids with type 1. And I got it when I was 50, 54, but there's things, listen to yourself. I wasn't aware of certain things, and listening to your own self, like how's my body reacting? What's going on? That kind of thing. Um, if I could, I don't know. I never kind of think of I never look back at my past and go, man, I should have done that differently. I was like, well, that happened and I learned from it,
All right. Well, thank you for being so informative about everything. This is about all the time that we have,
Yep.
but it was really nice getting to know you. Thank you for taking time out of your day to talk to me about everything.
Yeah, it's, I love, like I say, well, one of the questions you had was who was an integral part in Elkhart? And that was Barney Mason. He was a martial arts instructor, and he basically said, you can be who you are, so just do it. So, but all right.
All right. Well, thank you so much. You have a great day.
Yep. That's
All
what
right.
we say here. Aloha and a hui ho. You learn stuff. This is a different country. It's like, a hui ho means I'll see you soon.
All right. Well, you have a great day. Thank you for taking time out of
Thanks.
your day. Thank
All right.
you.
You,
Have a good day.
you too.
Thank you.